Hello, I'm Sam here at Rick Jones Pianos with a piano I thoroughly enjoyed playing, a magnificent Kawai Grand Model CA-40 built in Hamamatsu, Japan in 1990. The CA in the model number stands for Concert Artist, and this piano was part of the Concert Artist series that Kawai was making in the late 80s and early 1990s. And you could consider it one of the predecessor models to the Kawai RX3 and now today the GX3. They made it in a 6-foot model, which we have here. There's also a CA-60, which you don't see very often, 6.5 feet, and then the really rare CA-70. CA-40 is by far the most common of them, as a 6'1" piano is a very popular size for serious pianists to have in their living rooms or teaching studios if they're a teacher. This piano is certainly up for the task. This was, this being an upgraded series over Kawai's more normal KG series that they were still making at this time. It was meant to be a competitor to Yamaha's own conservatory series, the C series, and in particular this would have been a competitor to the Model C3. In my opinion, this is a very worthy competitor. I might even say more pleasant than a lot of the C3s I've played. CA-40s, in my opinion, are consistently really enjoyable and satisfying to play. I've worked on them. They're just as well put together as any other Kawai Grand. They are known for their excellent quality control, just like Yamaha is. But there's something in particular about the CA series which seems to make it tick in a way that even I don't see in other Kawai model series, the NX, GS, even the RX series. I've played some I don't like as much as the CA series. Really just big tonal projection, really rich and colorful sound. Responsive action. Now, Kawai Grands, in my opinion, pretty much always have a responsive action. It's often a little bit on the firm side. This one I think is a little firm too. But the keys bounce back to a ready position very quickly. And as I've heard technicians describe it, the key, the actual surface of the key remains in contact with a pianist's fingers more than in other pianos. That's what is meant by responsiveness, at least that's what I mean by it. And that's more information for a pianist when that key is in the contact with their finger, because that's how they're playing the piano. And Kawai achieves that perhaps with a little bit more of a firmer touch, which is definitely firmer than what I'm used to. I grew up on the Yamaha, they tend to have a lighter touch. But I find it so satisfying to play on Kawai Grands in particular because of that. As I said, it's consistent on Kawai Grands in general, and this being more of an upgraded series with, in my opinion, slightly better parts inside and the action, it's even more refined. So really quite enjoyable to play this piano, very satisfying. If I didn't already have a Grand at home, I wouldn't mind having this in my own home to play on. And I'll say that's saying a lot because I do prefer a lighter touch, but I like the Kawai responsive feel. It allows me to do what I want with the music that I'm playing, and it doesn't get in the way at all. And well, I think it may be a little better just now playing. I admit I haven't maybe practiced as much recently as I should, but the Kawai, this piano really helps me out. It gets out of your way. It doesn't even get out of your way, it helps you along as you're playing. So I really enjoy playing it. To talk about the tone in touch in particular, I kind of forgot to think about the tone. It would be fair to call it a little bit on the mellow side. it's interesting because I wasn't really thinking about it. I was just enjoying its wide dynamic range. When you play it loudly, it has a big sound, and it filled this large room very easily. And I've noticed when my colleagues play other CA series Kawais in their store, it really fills the whole showroom. It's really voluminous sound. Reminds me a lot of early 20th century Steinways, in my opinion, and I'm talking like 1900, 1910. It's not a harsh sound at all. It's not particularly bright, and Kawai was not known to have a bright sound. It's much more of a warmer, rounded sound. But it's just this big, massive wall of sound coming at you, especially if you're standing in the direction of the lid. This piano has that, and it's really, I think, very much worthy of the name, the series name, Concert Artist. It really does produce, in my opinion, a concert-like tone as much as a 6-foot piano can possibly produce. As I said, though, it's on the mellow side, so I'll rate it a 4 on the scale from 1 to 10, from mellow to bright. It sort of skews on average toward the mellow side, but when you play it loudly, you really get a big sound out of it, so it's not incapable of a big sound. It's just overall warmer. And as I said, it touches a little bit on the firm side, normal for Kawai. I talked a lot about how responsive it is. That will justify a 6 on our scale from 1 to 10, from light to firm. It's a little bit on the firm side, but again, even if you're used to a lighter touch, I think you'll find this quite satisfying to play. At least I did. The piano also does have a middle pedal sostenuto, as you would expect any premium grand to have, at least made in recent decades. And if you don't know how it works, of course, you press down notes on the keyboard to press the middle pedal, and only the dampers for the notes you pre-selected are held up. They're engaged by the sostenuto mechanism. So it's like having a third hand holding down notes on the keyboard for you. As I said, just like you'd find on a premium piano, like a Steinway Grand, larger Yamaha Grands. So just another sign that Kawai really intended this for really serious pianists. And like everything else we sell, it has a 10-year warranty, all parts and labor, and 100% lifetime trade-up guarantee. I saw this piano when it came in. It wasn't abused at all. While we couldn't make it look this good if it were abused, it has this high gloss ebony finish, which looks, I mean, if I look hard enough, I could probably find some flaws on it, but it's hard to find them. It's a really gorgeous, almost flawless finish, in my opinion, at least from what I can see from the front here. Beautiful piece of furniture, not abused by its previous owner, really clean on the inside. We've taken it apart, regulated the action, gotten everything just right so the keys are operating evenly and according to specification. We do ask, of course, that when you have it in your home or wherever you have it, that you make sure the humidity is moderate and stable. That's important for any piano, no matter the brand or the size, and that you make sure it's in tune twice a year. If you do that, you can return to us at any point in the future and trade this piano in precisely for its instrument sales price. That is what we mean by a 100% lifetime trade-up guarantee, and it applies to anything else we sell. I struggle to imagine why you would want to trade this in anytime soon. It's a wonderful piano to play on, unless you had to have a larger Kawai, which we don't get all too often. But the option is there, available to you. I will say that you should rest assured that this piano, if you take good care of it, will provide many decades of musical enjoyment still. Kawais are workhorses, and when something does go wrong, they're easy for us technicians to service. It's easy for us to take them apart and fix any problems that they have. They are, in my opinion, very thoughtfully designed, just like Yamaha, so that when we technicians work on them, we get really good results. So, if in the future something should go wrong, even beyond the 10-year warranty period, as long as you're maintaining it, you'll find that the piano will faithfully hold up.
over time, and that a technician can make it right, in my opinion, more easily than many other brands of piano. Kawai and Yamaha both are like that, and just another example of why we like working on them so much. So, highly recommended this piano. I really enjoyed playing it. We encourage you to come out, see it for yourself, play it along with anything else in our inventory. If you can't make it, you can always give us a phone call or send us an email, but we do hope to see you here. I think you'll be quite impressed with this